Welcome back, OGN Legion. And yes, that was a very, very quick game number one. Didn't learn a lot about KT Rolster or KONGDOO Monster because KONGDOO Monster basically rolled over and gave a win to KT.
Zyrakan priority picks into a 2v2 death from a Flash Lickitung at level 5 was not a good start for KONGDOO, and it only got worse from there.
Yeah, Lickitung isn't even a good Pokemon, Papa Smithy.
He's a fun one, though.
Oh, I mean, Lickitung's evolution, not too bad.
Wait, does he evolve?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh, like Generation 5 or
Oh, I
something
was
like
well
that.
checked out by then.
Yeah, I know. I've forgotten its name, so at least there's that. But MVP, see who it goes to. Basically, pick a member of KT Rolster. It is going to be Mata. We are going to be able to check out that lick one more time.
Excellent. I love to see it. Conditioning and second wind in the resolve tree. He had the approach velocity to get to Deft a bit closer when those pesky bad guys were coming. Tried to CC him, but this was the moment. Missed this at the start. Let's watch it here. Takes an auto Q and then just dies. Well, that was nice.
Yep.
And no heal use there. Didn't respect the damage. This was almost the escape of all time. Trying to be the biggest MVP possible over the wall. He thought he was safe and into a new country. He was not.
Yeah, and Deft actually, the reason why he died was because he turned around to try and get more damage. You can see Smeb starting this off with a very cheeky one onto Secret over to the side.
It eventually led to 1,000, but this is all about the Lickitung, so he moved away, back to Tom Kench action. Here he comes in with Deft, and honestly, his evacuations were great. He was aggressive and assertive with the Abyssal Voyage. A performance to like from Mata. Picks up another MVP.
Yep, bottom lane just looking absolutely fantastic, but I have a feeling you could pretty much give the MVP to almost anyone on KT Rolster because everyone won their lane to the best of their ability. No one on KONGDOO Monster with too many options, so now they're going to do their very best to wipe the slate clean, come in fresh for game number 2. KT Rolster probably feeling pretty good. And no subs, guys, I know.
A lot of kind words around the KT booth. No kind boys, unfortunately. Yeah. Will not be playing game 2.
Well, you don't know that. The rest of the players quite kind. We've had a chat to Smeb quite often. He's a kind boy, so at least there's some kindness going on, just not the kind boy that you guys have been looking for.
Nope. In no rush to debut their second jungler, but Ucal got a start here, and he had a great game on the Azir. I'd like to see his Taliyah to see if it
I'd like to
up
see
to
more of those puns, Papa Smithy. That was absolutely fantastic. GP and Galio are going to start off the ban phase, though, as we head into Champion Select.
And look at this, a blue side Ezreal ban from KONGDOO Monster. Maybe they want to return to the Zyrakan and not have to roll it out against good old Ezreal. Could just provoke a Kalista ban, and we'll see what happens here when it comes to what's available.
I feel like they'd need to ban the Varus as well, which does leave the mid lane champion pool very wide.
The bans against KONGDOO have gotten more predictable. Kind of teams just ban out Edge, and if Edge isn't on a winning matchup, it gets awkward. Now, Edge might have access to the Zoe here as they're forcing a Zoe or Kalista trade on the blue side.
Yep, Kalista certainly one that Sol has favored in the past. And at least one of the KONGDOO victories was with Sol on the Kalista, but looking at win rates is a difficult one, and KT working out whether or not it's worth a ban. Zoe is actually going to hit the bench instead. Ucal going to have the best matchup that he can possibly get. Remember, they decided to go for the first pick, Azir, but this time the Kalista is going to be snapped up as quickly as possible.
Could definitely be Varus Taliyah kind of draft on the red side if they want it. KT also go back to the Caitlyn. Bring back the pick that has been dominant for Deft in most games.
Also works quite well against Kalista. Deft has shown us that he does like that matchup, so I like your line of thinking.
It's usually bot lane secured early, but they seem to really like Ucal on the Azir. Maybe scrim results have shown that it's their power pick, so it could just take Sejuani here to join the Azir if they'd like to.
Yeah, and also just skipping down the tier list. I mean, I could imagine that Taliyah has gone up a little bit over recent weeks.
Skarner's in that weird spot
here
also, next to the Azir. I wonder if KT won a first round the Skarner, which has not been a winning pick this week.
Sejuani is also available.
To be the safer choice. They're taking a long time to decide, and they will go with score on the Skarner after all.
Yep. So at least something's going to change. KONGDOO can head over to the Sejuani if they would like to. Raze can also opt in to the Jarvan if you'd like to pick that one up. But Sej, bit of an obvious choice is Edge back on the Taliyah once again.
Taliyah was a pretty confident draft, even if it couldn't give them much in game 1. It was far from the reason. But they fell behind, and Zach is all about the all-in when it comes to the engage. A lot less committal with the Sejuani. So nameplate's off. You do like the draft on blue side by KONGDOO Monster.
Certainly understandable as to why they're going to go for these picks, but KT still feeling very, very confident. And the Varus, we're talking about the options that Deft had, certainly has a lot of them. I would have preferred to see Caitlyn and Varus banned, and then he picks up the Jinx for the complete PogChamp moment, but not going to have it this time around by the looks of things, as Ucal should be locking away the Varus, and there it goes. So bans, we'll see whether they focus on the support position. I think Rakan probably worthy of a ban here on the side of Secret. I'd want to get rid of his Alistar as well, but KONGDOO haven't necessarily been begging for bans so much from any team over recent weeks.
Zoe and the 3 mid lane bans has been the way to shut down KONGDOO as Edge's teamfight. Zoe was a treat. Supports do look like they'll be pinched. I guess your optimism for a Jinx may go unfounded. My optimism for a Smeb carry may go founded if he does last pick on the red side. I imagine KONGDOO will take the safest option, a Sion, for example. Well, and it's going to be banned away. So the second safest option then.
That's the dream. Sion was final ban for KT in game number 1 as well. So they, like us, just don't want to see Sion.
I mean, if you want to kill someone, Sion is the hardest, it feels like, to actually puncture through all the health, shields, and other tankiness. So that's why a Sion is banned, very safe blind pick. Final ban will come through from KONGDOO Monster and just be 2 supports against the Varus. The Braum is the most standard one, and of course Answers the Weaver as well.
Yep, and it seems like KT are just totally okay with the Rakan being picked up. Kalista Rakan we actually saw being pretty fantastic when in the hands of a FLICKR Freaks in our previous series, but this is a very different setting. Now, what do they want to grab in the support position? The Thresh.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Harkening back to one of the strongest 2v2 lanes that you can ever have. I remember it was, who was it? Doublelift and Xpecial utilizing this in the 2v2 tournament way back in the day. What is that, 5 years ago?
It might be 6 years ago, Atlas.
Yeah,
I know.
But that was an NA victory. So you got to talk about them. There aren't so many. It certainly was very dominant.
Well, Varus and Tahm Kench for lane presence, and the Tahm Kench will get, Varus and Thresh, I'd say, and the Thresh will get his roaming on. The first Sion was taken away, so the second Sion will be locked in as Ornn is the top laner for KONGDOO Monster. It could be a support Ornn, but realistically it's going to be a tank for Roach.
Have you noticed that when you look at Ornn, it's kind of like Sion's face, super zoomed in?
A flex pick. If the Shen is locked in.
Who knows what's going where?
Which tank will it be?
And actually, Roach can choose which one he wants. Played Shen in the previous game, of course, if you guys remember.
This would be boring.
But this is a really, boring, but very safe. In fact, this whole draft from KT is like the most 8.3.
It is very
I guess
meta.
Apart from the Thresh, but it's Mata. He's probably going to use his own skin.
Yay! Thresh can roam around. Second game ever from Score on the Skarner. That might be fun. But our hopes for a Riven have gone away. No Smeb Riven on the day he picked up his 1000th kill. And he's thinking about 1,000 more and getting that started in this particular series.
In one game? Golly, that would be a lot of kills, Papa Smithy. Secret is going to be picking up the Shen, so no funny business here from KONGDOO Monster. It will be the Ornn versus Gnar, a matchup that we've seen many, many times, and actually seen go both ways as well. So Smeb, if he is actually going to win this one out, it's not like it's a given when you do have the Gnar. Ornn does have a lot of options when it comes to clearing out waves, much like, as you say, the Sion.
And a second performance here from Ucal, and there won't be a given that you'll be facing Pawn in the mid lane when you face KT Rolster. And whenever these top 3 teams have options, as a FLICKR Freaks showed, with Mowgli and Aiming coming in to largely success against SKTT1, makes it even more difficult to prepare against. All they had was the starting 5 in 2017. Rush and Ucal joined the ladder, and now it's only Ucal's first game in the second round robin. But it's going to be fun to see if he can recreate a solid Game 1 performance.
Yeah, it feels like everyone has taken the SKT strategy of keep at least a few on the bench and switch things around just to keep it all fresh. I like it a lot. Seems like all of our top teams are able to do it. KT finally going to be joining that crew with Ucal, and we'll see what he can do in game number 2 right now. Or not quite as determined are the KONGDOO fans now in game number 2. Not a lot of faith given after what was an utterly dominating performance from KT.
Not too much faith deserved, but that means they have a lot they can impress us with, that they can clean up their early game. Yeah. Potentially they can stay competitive longer than they were able to in game 1, as there's an alpaca.
Yeah, of course. Deft fans. Deft has so many fans.
A lot. Really a lot of fans.
Really a large amount of fans.
He also had the Chinese fans. I mean, FLICKR is the most popular, but it feels like Deft is a close second after his 2 years of success on EDG.
Yeah, playing on EDG certainly a way to become a fan favorite in China.
Pawn, slightly less fans than the ever-lovable alpaca. And you were correct. We have Samsung Galaxy Thresh and SK Telecom T1 Azir on the side of KT Rolster. That's fun.
Yeah, Mata, every single time he plays Thresh, of course, he's going to use his skin, but from back in 2014.
He probably still gets residuals from it if it sells, so why not show it off?
Yeah, damn right. Got to do some advertising while you have the chance. So Mata's Aftershock is going to go off. KONGDOO Monster going to struggle to have a whole lot of presence here in this lane, given the range advantage that KT do have, but you can see actually clearing out the wave quite nicely.
Summoner spell-wise, it is Aftershock on Mata, but notice that Deft has gone Unsealed Spellbook this game.
Yeah.
On the Varus, definitely not a common choice.
Reminds me of his Jace when he took Teleport, the triple Teleport composition.
You look at the enemy team, ago. It does mean that you can skip a QSS and go Cleanse very confidently against the side of KONGDOO Monster. I mentioned that will be the switch over this game. It'll also be Teleport for the advantageous laning trades early. And now that we're back to Ornn versus a ranged top laner, back to the Unsealed Spellbook for the Ornn as well.
Yeah, the score actually going to make his way down bottom lane as well, as SSol could be in a whole host of trouble. The heal actually didn't come down very early as Score gets himself in there, misses the E, but that means that SSol has to go the wrong direction, and first blood goes over to Deft at 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Didn't want to delay it. They went for the flash hook there from Mata. Death sentence is aptly named. They pick up the kill even after the E missed from the Skarner. Top lane going fine. Early back for the Taliyah. Good news for KT Rolster.
Yep, bit of a disaster, but pretty cheeky coming in from Score. Not a lot of times that you have to expect the level 2 gank coming in from the Skarner. Setting himself up very, very nicely. Smeb to get some deep vision on the Gromp camp, just to make sure that Raze is going to be discovered, but he's nowhere near it. Score is actually spotted, so nice vision available. I believe that was Edge that chucked that one over, unless Raze got in there earlier on.
Game 1, CS per minute. Very clean from Ucal and a very extended laning phase against the Taliyah.
Not exactly statistics that you really want to be looking at. There's Deft with 40% of his team's damage approximately.
I wonder if we'll have one relevant big mid laner debut every year. You think of 2016, it was definitely BDD, although it took an extra year for him to actually impress people when he joined Longzhong on the starting roster in summer. Lava looking like the pick of the 2017 debutants after having a great season so far on Rocks, and now Ucal in 2018. Always heartening to see the young talent come through, as it really does talk about the longevity of the game if new pros can debut 6 years into the competitive lifespan of the game.
And it's funny that you talk about Lava, because I feel like this was, like 2018 has been his year. I feel like a lot of breakout talent has been around now that we've hit 2018. It's an exciting time to be an LCK fan. Blossom as well, stepping up. He's only going to get better.
I mean, it's definitely esports, and if we're going to talk generally, where if you're not in the first wave, you might miss it, right? It's just the reality that some of the games have been a lot shorter. That's why there being new debutants, there being options for people this far into the legacy, that it doesn't just end up being Deft and Pawn forever. It does mean there can be space for new blood as well. So that's why I'm always happy to see it.
Well, Roach doing what he can. There's Smeb actually taking a lot of harassment from the long-range abilities of the Ornn.
Yeah, Ornn, as you noted earlier, is getting pretty competitive in the trades, even against Gnar. In the lane, feels like GP went from getting crushed by Gnar to doing fine. Then Roach able to do the same. We're going to see a lot of bone plating when 8.4 hits, and even more risky laners will be able to get away with how much extra oomph that provides the defense in the early game.
Yeah. Mata turning back up to this bottom lane. Still 5 charges on the Dematerializer as well, just hasn't needed to use them as lane controllers. It's something that they've needed to rest from KONGDOO Monster so far.
Everyone's pushing up. They don't really care too much about what's happening in the jungle till level 6 is observed. On to Raze.
Yeah, Raze actually a level behind score, given the assist experience. It did come in for the Skarner. As Claw the Forge God comes down, Roach actually going for it. Good hop. Gets him out of the way, but he can't pick up his boomerang, and he might just go back home, see what he can do about picking up this Black Cleaver.
No vision at all, so probably smart to get out, recall, and maybe push up some vision later. No need for Smeb. Will get his Phage and return quite happily to the lane.
Yeah, refillable potion in there as well. Deft and Might are very happy here on the bottom side. Grabbing that pickaxe on first back as well, which feels great.
Hope we can see a Lantern play with the Skarner come level 6. They're always fun to watch.
It's actually North America. Saw the Skarner Thresh combination used to such fantastic effect when Aframu had his extraordinary game. Good flash from Edge. Avoids the Emperor's Divide and actually gets hit by the seismic shove. As Ucal has to be really careful as the threaded volley does a lot of work.
Just want to use his summoner, and if you can do that every time, you do it every time. Atlas get the free summoner.
Hell yeah.
In exchange for just the ultimate from Ucal. Seeing that Raze is staying mid lane to pick up experience for level 6 and also threaten Ucal and stop him from getting a preferential back. No regen on this build after going for the Saucer's Shoes on first back.
Yeah, very snowballed. Ucal playing with a lot of aggression.
Boots 2 to avoid the seismic shove is the big reason. He went for that early, and he has the cleanse already to answer the CC.
Just not really caring about, permafrost stuns or nothing like that. Just in case the layering of the CC is going to be available. I do like it from Ucal though. Making sure that you can use the momentum of a very dominating win to play with confidence. Certainly has an excuse to do that, but Edge actually farming this one out nicely. Wow, that hook went through Secret. He's the invisible Shen. Finally, Shen's a ninja. It happened. We got there.
Skarner a bit invisible on the map, but now has boots and Predator available.
Yep.
Already more kill involvements than some of our recent Skarners, who have certainly struggled.
Aww. I don't think Blossom deserved that.
Hey, he's not the only Skarner that's struggled. Did you trick Skarner earlier this week? Oh boy.
Yeah, that one wasn't so good either. In fact, LCK Skarners haven't been figuring it out quite so much.
Or maybe they've been figured out. It's one of those sort of things.
That's true.
Yeah, we were speaking a little bit about how other picks just seem to be more reliable.
I feel like it's a glass half full type question. I like your option better. Smeb comes back, clears out this wave, and he's actually found himself quite far ahead of Roach, who put himself together a Warden's Mail in that Glacial Shroud. So Frozen Heart will be coming in relatively shortly, but once Smeb has that Black Cleaver, it's going to get harder and harder for Roach. The Shred starts to stack. Ucal will be delivered himself a blue buff. Heads back into this lane, and we'll see whether Emperor's Divide can be utilized to grab anything more.
If you think about the draft holistically from KONGDOO Monster, because top lane, invariably, going to get pushed in by the Gnar. No problems there.
Yeah.
Bot lane, it's a support Shen, so you're going to lose the 2v2 because support Shen provides very little in the 2v2. Yeah, okay, lane control there again. Mid lane's a bit more even. Taliyah can kind of wave clear and move away, and it's proved to be very even. So why do you not draft a winning lane? The only way this KONGDOO Monster comp works is Shen hits level 6 and we start some real playmaking. They can close the map very well. All 6 can be in one lane pretty trivially. So waiting to see if they can vindicate that with a really strong play around level 6. Because if they don't get their ults working, which are very long cooldown, if they're just disengaged if they all ult, then the comp just has the problems of inevitably losing in their 1v1 and 2v2 lanes.
Yeah, the comp plays around Raze extraordinarily well, given the Weaver's Wall global opportunity plus the Stand United that Secret is going to be offering. So I completely agree. Roach as well. Have to use that Blazing Charge to get himself out of the way.
Usually want at least one winning lane if you're going to run Shen support, because all lanes are losing in control becomes a struggle.
I feel like having at least one winning lane is a great way to play League of Legends as well.
I agree. I agree. We see 3 scaling lanes win sometimes, but just kind of trying to explain that things are not certainly at their worst for KONGDOO right now, and there is a lot of playmaking, but making it happen and just kind of farming it out is not necessarily what they want. That's going to be a cleanse from Ucal.
Yep.
I think score might have been seen. I guess not, but it was very weird how the vision was lined there.
They're not going to pull the trigger as Ucal going to come down, but this is exactly what can happen. If Mata lands a hook, someone's dead. That's just straight up what it is. It's actually the play. Immediate stopwatch for Sol. Just going to see his death. Deft is going to be able to pick that one up once again. That's going to be 2-0 for the Varus, and that was all too easy. Flash play means there's no way out for Sol.
Exactly. Too easy. They pick up the kill. From there, they're able to once again push in, once again get first breakthrough bot lane, rotate their bot lane. This is how KT wins almost every game they win, is getting a 2v2 advantage. They pick for lane so frequently. Varus Braum, Caitlyn Tahm Kench. They always pick Caitlyn Varus when available, and the Ezreal, if they're looking to scale. They won with the Ezreal lane, so predictably, you go Varus Thresh, it goes even cleaner. Wasn't quite the 2v2 kill, but they unlock the bot lane, the Rage Blade is complete, and now KONGDOO Monster need to make that global play work, otherwise the game may just be ended around them.
Now the thing that's really, really difficult for KONGDOO now is that KT barely ever lose at this point to any team that they will face in the LCK. This is precisely how KT knows how to win games the most consistently. And now KONGDOO Monster have to deal with the fact that they're coming off a 30-minute dumpstering in game number 1, and now also behind 2.5k gold. And looking down the barrel of yet another snowballed win. Call the Forge God to come down. They're actually looking to try and pick up score, and they will do so. Seismic shot from Edge is going to secure that kill, and KONGDOO Monster put one back on the board. Score caught a little bit out of position.
2 globals used to pick up the kill, and they actually advance their map position, get a Rift Herald, for example. That would be a nice victory for KONGDOO Monster to justify how much they used, because Kalista's now going to be zoned away from minion. Can't enter lane against the Varus in a 1v1. So they need to actually make sure they're doubling down on an objective, and Rift Herald is in vision, but will be started off by KONGDOO Monster.
Yep, Smeb thinking about what he wants to do as far as coming down. Ucal and Mata are going to turn up though, and with lane priority on top side.
Even Deft's roaming up.
Yeah, and there's no ultimate available for the Ornn up top. Still half of that cooldown is raised. Doesn't know where he can actually be. The Rift Herald is going to be stopped. Brambleback going to be started up here by Score as another ultimate instantly cleansed.
No, that's missed.
All right. Okay, never mind. I thought that was cleansed.
I know, it looked like
Wasn't even off.
No.
Okay, never mind.
I like how Deft pinged that he was coming and just took the Raptor cap.
Did he short arm that by about a millisecond?
He did.
Like, is that what happened?
That was
Because
literally 0.1 of a teamer.
I think it was within range, though.
It looked like Captain Jack, but actually it was just missing.
But actually, Ucal did nothing. Oh, Prodigy player. Doesn't even need cleanse to get out of CC.
Next level. Horn wouldn't have been able to cleanse that one, Atlas.
No, not a chance. Oh, dear. Okay, well, Deft stacking his Rage Blade on this minion wave and feeling very comfortable being well and truly on the other end of other side of the map. Now just having a bit of an excursion through the enemy jungle. And in goes Score. Predator was actually used as Edge, just going to flash out of the way.
Communication was off there. Was no flash available on Score. But he was not in any danger of being killed.
Oh, threaded volley actually not going to be able to find the minions as Deft tanks that one turret shot. They set up the Sun turret. Or the SKT turret.
Can't afford to have the communication fall away when you're already the big dog in terms of the favorites in this game. 2 turrets down, roam up. Varus gone on a great journey, going from bot lane to stealing away a Raptor camp, and now, what about a Rift Herald and top lane turret to finish off what has been a fun excursion for KT's bot lane?
Yeah. He got his permission slip, now he's off to take down Shelly. It's going to be Score securing that one.
Deft strikes me as one of those people that would always forget to get his permission slip signed.
Really? Yeah, actually, I can understand that. You probably asked Smeb to sign it in the end.
He's definitely a decisive killer in-game, but out-of-game, any interview you see with him is always soft-spoken and a little bit spaced out sometimes.
The most subdued and the least excited about anything ever. Well, KONGDOO Monster are going to be able to make this one a trade, and any trade that goes 1-for-1 feels great, but it's probably not going to go 1-for-1 as Sheldon.
Sheldon? We're talking about Big Bang Theory now?
Yeah, there she was. At least she was just sort of dancing on the spot. As a hook lands from Mata. All too easy. Flash and the Blazing Rush actually to get Roach out of there. Sorry, the charge. Ucal says, I'm here, guys. Don't worry. Is raised. Now, he's on the wrong side, but just gets shoved out of the way. 15 minutes into the game, I thought that KT were going towards the Baron. Baron isn't quite there for another 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it feels very unfocused when you're following this game because you forget which team is playing from which side because they're so far down.
Yeah.
The mid lane of KONGDOO Monster. Farm numbers starting to really stack up, even though Deft has gone on a excursion, like we mentioned, up 26 CS in lane. It's not one of those games where they're winning in every role, except for Thresh. Haha.
Wait. Oh, wait. As far as farm? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, no, he's fallen way behind. 5 CS?
Hey, everyone else is winning.
That is inexcusable.
He's not really repping his skin very well.
He doesn't even have a sub behind. That's why he's just not motivated anymore. Like Smithy. He's just not motivated. Like Smeb. Look at Smeb. He's only up by...
He's only got 1,001 kills. He's done now. He doesn't need any more kills, Atlas.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, we might see him just playing Maokai from now on. Doesn't need to prove himself anymore. Okay. Please God. Shouldn't have baited it. Looks like Ucal's going to be going for Banshee's Veil as item number 2. A little bit of respect actually given over to the side of KONGDOO Monster.
They are spotted in this rotation though, and it's a team-wide rotation. 3 people rolling topside. Ucal's like, guys, I need some friends. He's getting the new kid treatment now, though. No one wants to go to his side of the map.
Exactly. He's getting ganged up on. He's going to be trying to flush his head down toilets and stuff like that.
Well, here comes the goon squad.
Yeah, I know. What is this, like...
It's a big goon squad.
Yeah, it's the teachers and the parents. They're going to come and try and save Ucal. He's underneath his turret now, though, and the pincer movement from KT is working out. Big flashes to try and get this one started, but Edge just gets soloed out. In fact, Deft is there to help out on that one. Score not even going to die just yet as the Sand Soldiers are going nuts in the tight spaces of this team fight. That's going to be another one for Smeb. Picks it up off the back end, and Secret is very lucky to survive the engage.
4 for 0. If they were any more aggressive, I saw the famous play from Phoenix be recreated by Ucal. Not quite that, but a double kill will feel really good. KT Rolster back away. 4 kills, 7,000 gold or so is the lead, and game 1 replaying in front of our eyes.
Yeah, let's have a look at it again and watch how Ucal really takes charge.
Yeah, he just understands the fight really smartly, and again, whenever I see a player debut, I love watching their early games to understand what is their mindset. Are they passive or are they aggressive? From the first time we saw him in game 1, when he got ganked and chose to take the aggressive approach and look for the kill, I got excited. I'm sorry guys, it was me. But in game 2 as well, understood the fight, able to get the maximum damage, 2-0 and 2. Ucal looking pretty good on debut.
Yeah, the teamfight sense was absolutely fantastic, understanding where the targets were. Of course, something that you expect from a top-tier player, but when we see these really young guys start off for the first time, it's always amazing to see how incredibly good they are to start things off. Ucal waiting down here. No brush is safe for KONGDOO Monster.
So respectful in the build. What are they doing?
There's an SKT chicken that's getting surrounded right now as Ucal.
That was a visual bug.
Yeah, that was a visual bug. He shifted some sands to get in there, dodges out of the way of the ram. As Score, he's walled off. Ucal is going to get destroyed in the end.
He was deep under enemy lines right there.
He was Owen Wilson. It was behind enemy lines action going on right here.
Whoops, he will say, as he was in the wrong part of the map.
Yep.
KT pushing around top side.
He didn't get his permission slip either.
Oh, Ucal.
Gotta have a derp in your first series.
You do.
And Raze, he didn't need another one, but he's actually going to use the flash, get himself out of the way of the hook. These are the things that happen, though. He's the tankiest member, probably the one most fit to get a face check on.
Didn't want to invest the Chains of Corruption or the Impale onto the Sejuani, so no killers registered, but another blue buff stolen away by Score.
20 seconds, Baron is going to be available if KT want to go for it. Over 6,000 gold is currently the lead, so you could imagine that KT pretty happy to peel off and take that one down if they want to.
I wonder if Marta's trying to end the game with a minion dematerializer in his inventory. That'd be pretty alpha.
Just leaving it on one charge.
Yeah. Just like, I don't even need this slot.
I always thought that minion dematerializer kind of looks like an anchovy.
What?
Do you think it kind of looks like an anchovy?
No, it doesn't. I don't know what it looks like. I don't actually have a counter argument, but no.
It just looks a little bit like one. I don't know. I don't see a lot of anchovies. My mum was allergic to seafood.
Ah.
Yeah. But I digress. KT wandering around the Baron.
Has anyone actually kept a dematerializer till Baron spawn and confirmed it doesn't work on Baron?
Could imagine someone in the practice tools probably tried it.
Where's Vandal when you need him? Vandal's like, really? Come on. Do I need to make that video? You do!
I really want him to say that in the interview after the game. Thankfully he won MVP, so they can ask him. Did you try and dematerialize the Baron?
He's holding on to it. He wants to keep it for later. It's his lucky charm. It's his lucky dematerializer.
Yeah. For when they have to deal with super creeps in the late game. Wait, hold on a second. Weaver's Wall.
It gets a not beneficial trade.
Cooldown.
Yeah. Mid lane turret goes down as well.
Yeah, so that's going to increase the amount of bad trades. Chains of Corruption, speaking of which, is going to be traded for the flash of Roach, so not going to be able to get himself into any battles either. Positioning for the Call of the Forge God going to be a difficult one, and you know when Deft is face-tanking minions on the enemy side of the map, and there's nothing that they can do about it, it's a problem. Another hook going to land onto Raze. Arctic Assault has to be used as the Impale finally does come in, but Score not as tanky as he might want to be, and he's going to go down as the first in the fight. Emperor's Divide doesn't quite find as many targets as Ucal would have wanted, and he's going to get knocked up. Smeb turns up to the fight, but maybe a little bit too late, and this is the first time something's gone the way of KONGDOO Monster, and it might continue. Smeb actually having to flash to get out of the way. Edge uses the flash to get out of the way of the hook. KT do get a few more extra summoner spells, but man advantage now for KONGDOO.
A bit lazy at the end by KT. Smeb walking up when the rest of his team was done was questionable. The use of the ultimate there from Ucal also was suboptimal, pushed away SSol to safety on the Kalista, so bit of a botched team fight. Best moment series so far for KONGDOO. They do trade up in that one. They get a bit of map control, and they get position on mid lane turret as well.
Yeah, Ucal will be able to clear out the minions very, very quickly, so no actual turret damage to come in. Deadman's Plate here for Score, and he's got his boots on cooldown. We'll see when that Predator is going to come back up, whether Score can actually find the targets that he's looking for, but has to remember that the Skarner isn't super tanky this stage of the game with only a couple of items.
Righteous Glory and the Deadman's Plate are a little bit interchangeable, and he went for the Deadman's Plate side for a bit more of the health.
Yeah.
Smeb still has teleport and can pick up his Mega Gnar on the minion wave bot side with some great teleport flank wards, specifically one very, very deep, close to the mid lane inhibitor turret.
Has built around more of the team fight Gnar as well, just to complement, like you were saying, Smeb's fantastic teleport play. And
also the position in the game. He doesn't need to split to win. It feels like a team fight or two will decide the game for KT Rolster.
And if we just learnt anything, Score not quite tanky enough to be the sole frontline.
No.
KONGDOO Monster still relegated towards their side of the map though. KT playing very far up. 8,000 gold approximately the lead. And it's only been extending as this game has gone on. 23.5 minutes in, Raze standing on top of a ward. Score is going to spot him out, that fracture.
Deft has, as we mentioned, gone cleanse from the unsealed spellbook to allow him to get more damage in the build early and not pick up a QSS, and only had heal for the laning phase. I like it.
I'm upset that he hasn't gone for teleport. Deft with teleport is one of my favorites.
It's his favorite team fight summon.
It is. Ucal. Thinking that maybe he wants to be a little bit careful, but it's probably not the case. He's feeling pretty confident now. Void Star on the way with that blasting wand in the inventory. Quite as much damage potential without Leandri's in comparison to the Banshee's Veil, but a lot safer. As Infernal Drake seems like adding insult to injury here for KT Rolster.
Gonna be a freebie. 2-level advantage for Smeb in the 1v1 against Roach, and already has a laning advantage in the Gnar vs Ornn matchup. As we go on, close to a Flame Horizon, and what of course is the series who picked up his 1000th kill.
Yeah.
Looking for the kill onto Roach.
Well, Roach is going to face check. The Impale's going to be there as well, as Deft wants to try and get himself an assist. Marta's going to get the play. I don't think the ultimate was all that necessary as he picks up a Lantern, and actually KONGDOO are going for this one. Cute double knockback as Marta actually going to flash aggressively. Hail of Arrows slowing everyone down. Edge isn't going to make it out. A double kill for Ucal as once again he's being a teamfight god, and Secret once again running the hell away from any sort of team fight.
Yeah, Roach was mistaken. He thought that was his red side jungle. No, it's KT Rolster's. They've got two. Everyone flashing aggressively to guarantee the kills. And now after the double Infernal, the Baron is on the menu.
Yep, Score, he's going to turn up. He's got his Crystal Spire to help him out there as well. So the little Skarner should be able pick this one up. Deft going to help. And all too easily, it's going to get smited away. 25.5 minutes. Only 5.5 minutes old was that Baron. He was a very big boy for 5.5 minutes old, though. Ucal going to clear that one out. 3-0-5, just quietly for Deft, after what was a fantastic first blood. But let's have a look at this one again.
Again, walking through your red side jungle at 25 minutes in a game is usually a safe move, but KT had already spent a lot of time setting this up and walked in. Deft, not interested in cooldowns. Actually, wasn't even a flash. It was the Lantern in a great spot to continue to maximize damage. Marta's flash, beautiful with the double flay. They chase down kills, they get the Baron from this. Very clean play from KT.
I like how it looked like Marta was flashing out of a seismic shove, but really, I think that he didn't even see the seismic shove. He just wanted to flash flay someone.
He saw blood.
Yeah, got onto edge.
Did his usual thing. We're pulling out in terms of the view here because Sejuani is actually all the way around the back.
Well, Secret Agent Ucal and Deft are actually going to be spotted out by KONGDOO Monster.
Oh,
Deft
baby.
once again going to be able to pick up a pretty fantastic lantern to get out. Edge almost trading with Ucal, and that would have been a disaster. Score's going to turn up. Actually flashes over the top. Fracture's going to finish off the kill as they even things out. But without Ucal, KT not going to have as much of their teamfight prowess, and Deft is nowhere to be seen.
Because he wants to push through the mid lane. He was chunked out from the previous fight. They're using the Gnar to zone around this mid lane inhibitor turret. So I'm going to get a lot of damage. Will he be able to finish it? Taking KONGDOO Monster a long time to walk up. Lantern available.
Now, Pop is going to be there for Smeb. Gets himself over the wall, and they do manage to take down the inhibitor turret, but it's getting a bit messy here for KT, as Deft just wandering away from his enemies, saying, I'm on really low health, so I guess I'll just kill turrets. And does so. It's going to be 2 in a row for the Varus. Who's got a rapid fire cannon.
It is a 13,500 gold lead and double Infernal and a Baron. Grammar had to go out the window. There were so many ands in that statement.
Yeah. Hard to say, comma.
You just did.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
Thanks, man.
It's your best moment so far tonight.
I have some skills. You don't think me talking about my mom's fish allergy was that was the best one? Well, that was definitely pretty good. Ah, Smeb. He has picked up the Zeal, so he's going for a little bit more of that damage route. I hope he's going for something like the Phantom Dancer. Feels
I'm a
really
fan
great.
of the Hurricane for the building up the Gnar super quick in a teamfight mini Gnar play.
The Gnar booster.
Yep. Only booster I can get behind.
Ooh, topical. I was thinking about booster seats and stuff like that in the back of cars. Remember old Volvos?
No.
We've been doing a lot of old man talk today. I really need to stop that.
Back in my day.
Yeah, we had Volvos.
And Ucal wasn't alive.
Oh, it's so depressing. Okay. Crystal Spire claimed from Score. That's how you know that you have got control of the enemy jungle.
AT respecting a Weaver's wall, and that ends up being a good read.
Yep, Ray's actually on the wrong side as Ucal spots him out. Impale's going to come in, but Call of the Forge Gods there. Can they kill the piggy in time? And yes, they can. As Sol, he's in potential trouble. As now Deft has to deal with KONGDOO Monster at very, very low health. But Smeb, he's got enough damage. Deft was the focus. They couldn't kill him. And KT are going to win this fight decisively. Once again, KONGDOO Monster members just running for the hills. And KT just looking to try and destroy structures.
Smeb decides he wants to pick up a kill on Sol, at least stop him from exiting the base. Or entering the base, I should say. They want to end the game on this push.
Yep, 1003 is what he's looking for. Sol trying to get himself out of there. Smeb didn't even pick up his boomerang, so he's not going to be able to find the Kalista.
This game is probably not going to end, but 2 inhibitors will be on the menu for KT.
Yep, no sub 30-minute victories. KT Rolster take themselves back to base. Looks like Infinity Edge. Final item here for Deft. I have a feeling that it could have been Wrecker if he wanted to. Probably still would have won the game. Sitting on about 1,600 gold at the moment. Buy whatever he wants.
10 out of 13 kill participation, which is the second highest after the Skarner. Not really been a game to write home about by a Score on his second ever game on the Skarner, first for the season.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a role player here. Is the new-aged E-Max Skarner. You can tell because Q is not maxed at level 15.
Yep. The old EWQ.
Tankier helps him out because if you go Q, E, which we do see from some junglers, like KONGDOO for example. It does mean that you are dangerously squishy in a team fight.
Yeah, it was the first few that we saw. On the Skarner as well. I believe Captain Flowers likes the Q-Max if you're going to go Warrior Skarner, something like that.
And no one goes Warrior Skarner anymore. We do get Hurricane Gnar again. One of my favorite things.
Yeah, 4th item pickup.
You guys want to understand why. It's not necessarily about the split push, although of course it's helpful in pushing the lane. The way that Mega Gnar Rage transformation is calculated is based on enemy being hit by auto. So if you're in a team fight, even with minions around, every hit, regardless of how much damage it does, builds up Mega Gnar bar. So in a team fight, you get off just a couple of rounds of autos with the Hurricane, your Mega Gnar comes up comically fast.
Well, Smeb probably looking for it now as he doesn't have any Gnar bar. He should actually be taken down. Everyone on the side of KONGDOO is going to be streaming in here. SSol, Fate's Call, just to make sure that Secret doesn't die. Tried actually to get over the wall, but doesn't manage to. Massive 4-man Emperor's Divide coming in for Ucal, who will just start cleaning this one up. Deft is there at full health, and that was gigantic. Welcome to the LCK, Ucal.
Sometimes it all lines up, and KT Rolster will win the game from that play.
All too easy. You thought you were catching Smeb. Really, KT was catching all of KONGDOO Monster. It's a real quick 2-0, and KT Rolster bounced back from the loss against Rox Tigers.
Yeah, KT Rolster did not find too stern opposition today from their opponents in KONGDOO Monster. Game 2, closer than Game 1, but still, at 25 minutes, they were catching out members of the enemy team in their own jungle. The Baron came pre-30, the victory after 30, but ultra comfortable. That means that KT is done. For week 6 of the LCK, they only have 6 more best of 3s to play as the season goes on, and they are still primed to run down Kingzone and FLICKR down to the wire when it comes to top 3.
Well, who are they going to be using in the mid lane when they do so, though, Papa Smithy? Because that last Emperor's Divide was certainly something that Ucal can be extremely proud of, and something that's probably making Pawn sweat about in the back room today.
It's 1 best of 3 against KONGDOO Monster, so the opposition, or level of the opposition, has to be a factor. But I hope he gets a chance against one of the better teams in the LCK, because he showed a killer instinct. He's clearly an aggressive player. His Azir is all we can talk about, but his Azir mechanics, sometimes too aggressive in team fights, sometimes too aggressive in positioning, largely a compliment to what we saw from him. So I'm sure his teammates will look at it and say, job well done. Still plenty of jobs to do, and hopefully an active part of the roster, at least in terms of potentially being subbed in as we move forward.
Yeah, and if we're looking at what we learned from Ucal as well, it shows that he is one of these aggressive players, much like the style that Pawn does have in the mid lane as well. So not going to be able to unlock Smeb to be more of a carry, something like that, which was some of the questions you were raising at the beginning of this series. Of course, we do need more of a sample size to figure that one out, but trying to gather as much information from this series as we can is the best we can do at this moment, talking about Ucal.
It's nice to celebrate a player's debut, especially one so young, 2001, January 30th, and 17 years later, lighting up the Rift in his first game. So congratulations to Ucal. KT Rolster fans will at least feel happy that they 2-0'd in a confident manner. KONGDOO took a game off of SKT just a few weeks ago. KT in no danger of losing a game to the side of KONGDOO Monster, and now it's all about the future opposition, and for a lot of fans, about whether they will see a change in the jungle to fully use their 7-man roster.
Yeah, looking down the line, it certainly is the FLICKR Freaks, Kingzone Dragon X, and the telecom war that we're all looking forward to, but damn, Ucal did a whole bunch of damage in that game, more than double than Taliyah.
He almost did more than 50% of his team's damage. Do the quick math, and it comes out to roughly 31,000 with the rest. So yeah, he put in the damage share, and with that, we might actually get to have a word with him.
Yeah, hopefully we are going to have Ucal hanging out. It was Marta in the first one as well, as far as picking up that MVP, so having that duo there is certainly great. Marta known to be one of the leaders in the team, and probably, if they're living in the team house together, more of that father figure like we were talking about.
And then Score, the oldest player, and Ucal, the youngest, which is...
I'm just imagining Score like sitting back on a rocking chair and, you know, Marta ordering the kids around, and oh, absolutely adorable.
And youthful exuberance helps teams. SK Telecom's level up with Blossom. They needed that little injection of youthful exuberance. I think KT got it here as well. I think they got the new player buff that could come through. Again, a great debut. Best debut I've seen since BDDs a couple of years ago, given that Khan was in his second stint in the LCK when he came through last year. So the MVP, will it be the young mid laner? It will not. It'll be a double MVP for Mata, strapping them on 0013 again.
Yeah, Mata was pretty incredible, and his Thresh always deserves accolades, but I just really would have liked to have a chat to Ucal as well. Instead, it's going to be the solo interview for Mata, who will be able to tell us all about the new mid laner. And he's trying to catch up to his fellow bot laner as well, as Deft well and truly on top with Tucson.
And we still might not know who will win this award, of course. There is still 6 best-of-3s minimum for the rest of the players, so minimum 12 chances to pick up an MVP in victory. So we'll see who's able to actually pick up first spot. I just hope it's not a top laner. We've had top laners dominate the award, so a new position, AD carry or support, would be really fun to see. Jungle as well, if another jungler get their way up there. But congratulations to Mata. An extended chat with the man who had the very sad birthday just 2 days ago when they lost to Rocks Tigers. Much better scenario today.
Yeah, feels like the real birthday to come in here, as these flash plays were absolutely fantastic. Score wanted to find himself an Impale, did get it in the end, but it's real scary if you're Soul in that moment. It's a highlight reel for KT, most definitely, and hopefully we are going to see that Emperor's Divide. Really showed us Ucal deserving of a lot himself.
Really sick Lantern play there from Deft. Gap close. Flash of his own from Mata to keep going. Mata had a great series. Thresh was fun to see on his own skin, like you say, vindicating it. And KONGDOO Monster, you know, by the end, they were just hitting and hoping with a lot of these fights, hoping they can find an outnumbered KT Rolster. They were unable to, so they end up going down 2-0.
Yeah, and actually just focusing on Mata in that last passage of play, just disgustingly beautiful. But enough from us, let's throw it over to Andy for some translation of the interview.
Unfortunately, there is no upset today as the powerhouse KT takes down KONGDOO Monsters with a 2-0 clean victory. We're sitting down with Mata for the MVP interview. A clean victory today. How do you feel?
일단 오늘은 이제 상대가 하는 거를 받아치는 거 위주로 해가지고
mostly today you were just like answering back at the enemy's aggression.
예. 이번 시즌 또 봤을 때 KT 선수들이 다 잘하고 있지만 특히 바텀.
Like this year, all the KT players are playing really well, but especially the bot lane.
뭐 계속해서 정말 좋은 플레이를 정말 좋은 플레이를 하고 있는데 본인이 생각해도 진짜
A really good performance indeed.
이번 시즌에는 저번 시즌과는 다르게 제가 좀 지키는 거를
This season, I'm trying to put more emphasis on protecting Deft than anything else.
생각보다 잘 되고 있는 거.
And I think it's working out pretty well.
지키는 것으로 좀 플레이를 한다고 하셨는데
So you say you're peeling for Deft more.
지키는데 최적화된 그런 챔피언.
So that's why you play Tom Kench, I guess.
아 그렇죠. 공격적으로 사용할 수도 있겠습니다만은 특히 뭐 2세트 스래시 같은 경우에는 데프트를 몇 번이나
In the second set, your Thresh actually saved Deft countless times. How do you view your Thresh performance today?
1경기는 잘 모르겠고
I'm not sure about the first set.
경우에도 이제 사실 데프트 선수가 그만큼 어떻게 보면 던지는 건데
But for the second set,
운 좋게 살아가지고 제가
like Deft survived with just pure luck a couple of times.
항상 팀원들을 좀 억제하는 효과가 있는 것 같아요.
I think Mata is kind of like the leader in KT, you know, suppressing like the players' emotions.
여기에서 스맵 선수가 좀 의식을 하고 있었나요? 아니면 팀원들도?
이제 몇몇 팀원께서 좀 MVP를 의식 많이 하더라고요.
You know, a few of the teammates were actually looking forward to the MVP, but sadly they couldn't get it.
새파랗게 어린 01년생 선수인데
You know, Ucal, he was born in 2001.
아지르 4인궁인가 할 때 자기 MVP다 막 이러면서
So like when he pulled out that Emperor's Divine with the 4-man ult, he thought he was the MVP, but he didn't get it.
첫 데뷔 전에 MVP 이건 굉장히 영광스러운 건데 좀 아쉽게 됐을 것 같아요. 오늘 유칼 선수가 등장을 해서
So you know, Ucal debut today.
굉장히 높아졌을 것 같은데 실제로
So people are having high expectations for him. How do you think? So I thought he would be nervous because it's his first appearance in the LCK, but surprisingly he wasn't that nervous.
그래서 진짜 02년생 뭐 LCK 최연소 선수고 어떻게 보면
You know, he's officially the youngest member in the LCK.
정말 엄청난 차이도 나는데.
So literally, you guys have the oldest member score and the youngest member Ucal in the same team.
성격이 좀 싹싹 바른 편이라
Like his
형들이랑 잘
personality is
어울리고,
really good.
네,
His temperament is good.
9201 프로젝트라고 92년 선수랑
So we have this 9201 project, which means we have Score who was born in 1992 and Ucal who was born in 2001.
분위기를 이끌어주니까 유칼 선수가 더욱더 게임을 잘할 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 1세트에서 저는 굉장히 인상적이었던
In the first set, there was a lot of inspirational moments.
그 장면 중계진들 깜짝 놀랐거든요. 그때 혹시 기억나세요? 그 장면 지금 나오고
Do you
있는데
remember this moment?
사실 닿을까 말까 약간
Did you know this was a killing
부족했던
moment?
것 같아요.
이런 뭐
Yes, I did.
선수랑 서로 딱 킬을 하고 나서 어떻게 리액션을 하세요?
So what was your reaction after getting the
응원할
kill?
것 같은데 데프트
그냥
선수는.
나이스라고
So we were just saying like nice,
담담하게.
pretty much.
근데 제가 좀 이 판에는 약간 좀 좋아했던 것 같아요. 좀 꼬로
But
먹은
I
느낌이라
felt more happy
쉽게 먹은 느낌이라
in this
약간
set.
그랬던 것 같아요.
예, 그래서 KT가 경기를 할 때 보면은 사실 이제 많은 중계진들이 꼭 저희뿐만 아니더라도 다른 중계진들도 바텀에 대해서
You know, in
언제나
KT's
중요성을
games,
강조하죠.
like a lot of
KT 의
casters do
경기에서
talk about the ball
핵심적인
lane.
역할을 담당할 때도 많고요. 그런 점에 대해서 종종 부담으로 느끼시거나
Do you
그런
think you have a lot on your shoulders because of that?
네, 부담감보다는 이제 저희가 바텀 쪽으로 많이 이제 힘을 주다 보니까
I mean,
그렇게 된
We
거고.
as KT
네,
are a bottom-centric
탑으로도
team,
밀어줘도 미드로 밀어줘도 잘할 수
and
있는데
I mean
약간
we do
요즘에는
put a lot of
바텀 쪽으로
emphasis on the
많이
ball lane.
해주다
So I
보니까
think
그런 게
it's expected.
인식이 강한 것 같아요.
그래서 실제로도 뭐 그런 거에 대한 큰 부담은 없다 이런 말씀.
So you're
뭐
saying
전혀
there's not much
부담은 없고요.
pressure. Yes, that's right.
선수랑은 이제 어떻게 하면 더 라인전을 잘할까.
So you know, every day I'm thinking about how to have more laning prowess with Deft.
이제 앞에서 계속 요즘에 좀 나오고 있는 패턴을 보면 이즈리얼, 뭐 아지르
You know, looking at the patterns,
노골적으로 선호하진 않고
there's a lot of Azir and Israel these days.
오늘 준비한 뱀픽 컨셉이나
You know,
이유에 대해서 알 수 있어요.
Can you tell us the reason for your ban picks
일단
today?
콩두 팀이 좀 저돌적인 팀이라서
You know, KONGDOO
이거를 이제
monsters,
맞받아치는
they are a very
라인전도
aggressive
이제
team.
세게 갈 수 있으면서 맞받아칠 수 있는 픽들을
So we try to set the bans and picks around a comp that can really reflect on their aggression.
그런 조합을 선택을 했다. 제대로 맞아 떨어진 것 같습니다. 또 재밌는 그 장면이 2세트 때
Another funny
스매시
moment
이제 본인이
is
획득한 롤드컵 스킨. 약간 상징성이 있었어요.
it's because you used the Samsung Thresh skin in the second set.
그러니까 오늘은 제가 좀 원래 쓰레쉬를 안 하다 보니까
You know, I usually don't
미리
play
하고
Thresh
왔는데
in the
제가
professional
좋아하는
scene,
스킨 아니에요 사실.
and it's not my skin really. I don't really prefer using the skin,
근데 이번에는 좀 그냥 해봐야겠다.
but I just felt like
보고
using it today, really.
그래서 그 스킨을 얻게 된 그 롤드컵이 사실 한국에서
You know, that skin,
근데 하필 또 올해
that skin you got in the Korean Worlds.
소식이 들려왔는데 약간 약간 뭐 억지로 끼워 넣자면 그래 한 번 더 내가 뭐 그런 욕심 안
Do you
없어요?
have an ambition of
그런 거보다
winning another
작년에
Worlds?
못 갔으니까 올해 꼭 가고 싶습니다.
I feel I want to qualify for Worlds this year.
올해는 꼭 롤드컵 진출하시길 바라면서
I hope you do.
어쨌든 2대0 깔끔한 승리를 가져가면서 2위 이제
With a clean 2-0 victory, you guys secure the second place in the ranking.
계실 것 같은데 팬분들께
Would you like to say a few words to your fans?
저희가 저번에 좀 무기력하게 패해가지고
You know, last time
실망하시는
we
분들도
lost
많고
quite
걱정하시는 분들도
you
많았는데
know, unconvincingly,
새로운 선수들도 기용하고 이제
and you
좀
know,
더
we implemented
적극적으로
new
이제
rookies
게임하는
into the
모습을
roster,
많이 보여드릴 테니까
and we will try to show a better performance in the future matches.
네, 바타 선수에게 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Okay, please give a round of applause to
오늘 멋진
to Mara.
경기를 펼쳐주신 KT 선수.
And that is pretty much the interview, and I'll hand it back to the casters.
Thank you very much, Andy. Mata reminding us that it was back in Korea 2014, of course, when he managed to get his Samsung White Thresh skin. And now with Worlds coming back to Korea, it would be pretty poetic if Mata managed to get it again.
And in such a competitive year, you have to feel like being able to play a World Championship in front of your home fans will make it all the more sweeter when 3 teams qualify for Worlds. KT Rolster stopped at the door 2 years in a row from doing that. Mata with the team last year with the denial. Can they get through before the regional qualify? That will be KT's goal. Winning summer or most circuit points is the way that you do that. KT Rolster do move to exclusive second place with their win. 9 match wins now, 9-3, but a full match behind KingZone, who are 9 match wins, but with 1 match less played.
Yeah, KingZone still able to stretch this one out they're able to get there. And because of the amount of 2-0s that they have, they will always have that extra game score sitting on their side. By the way, Papa, I do remember the Lickitung evolution. Its name's Licky Licky.
Nice.
That's why I forgot, because it's so bad. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. Completely as an aside, just saw the fact that Tahm Kench was what might have picked up the MVP on in game number 1. Was absolutely incredible. Great to see the bottom lane stepping up.
Well, KONGDOO Monster don't have a very easy task in less than 48 hours. They will play Kingzone Dragon X. That one will... And then Rox Tigers against BBQ, our second and last set for the OGN week.
Yeah, so that's going to be on Saturday. Papa gets a night off tomorrow night on Friday. Thankfully, got to get him recharged for the action of KONGDOO Monster versus Kingzone Dragon X for potentially the longest break in history before the next matchup of Rox Tigers versus BBQ Olivers, which is actually going to be an exciting one, given BBQ Olivers' recent resurgence of power.
And Rox Tigers beating KT and proving that they are not going to be an afterthought in the rush for top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 seemed clear at the start of the year, but KSV on the down, SKT on the rise, but finally halted today. The race is on.
Yep, a lot of opportunities and still a lot of shake-ups, but finally we've got some normalcy with KT being able to take down KONGDOO Monster. But guys, that's it from us. We'll see you on Saturday night for more LCK action. See you then.